Hey, Elite Series Pro Chad Morgenthaler here to talk to you about summertime fishing.
Bobby Boy. Kevin, trucks on.
Now, summertime fishing can be a little bit tricky. The fish at this point are typically, especially in the Midwest region of the nation, they're already out there in that deeper water, and chances are they've seen several baits along their travels to get there. Now, at this time of year, this is one of my favorite times of the year to fish, though, because it requires just a little bit of a finesse approach, but you still get to get some great bites, a lot of bites, and still can catch a lot of big fish. One of my favorite ways to approach this is this finesse fishing type of situation that happens, especially when I've got a little bit of water clarity. When I talk about that, I mean like 2 to 3 foot visibility is really all I need. Now, I'm going to rely pretty heavily on my electronics at this point to find my fish and to keep my schools located. But a lot of times you have to get those fish motivated. You have to get that first 1 or 2 to bite. Now, you might be able to rotate through some other lures like a swim bait or a crankbait at that point, but to get them to bite first, that's the key deal. And I'll typically take the approach of finesse fishing them with the Dropshot Rig. Now, this particular rig, this is a finesse Dropshot rig put together by Missile Baits, but it's got everything from Gamakatsu hooks in it, which this is basically just a drop shot hook, and it's in the 1 or the 1/0 sizes, the 2 that I use for nose hooking that bait. And whenever it comes to baits selection, there's really a couple of different ones that I use and a couple of different colors that I typically start with. I can tell you right now, in the Pinkalicious, this is a hot pink bait, and it may not look like much, but it's really interesting how the fish react to this color under different light situations. I really like this whenever I have a lower light or a cloudy day. This seems to really generate a lot of bites for me. And again, it's the Bomb Shot Bait by Missile, and it's a finesse style bait, and I just nose hook it on a drop shot rig. That's basically all you do. Now, the thing that most people do with a drop shot rig that causes them to not get a lot of bites is they try to put too much action into that bait. You don't have to do that. You need to make sure that the bait goes out. You'll set your leader length, and I start about 14 inches long from my weight to where I tie my hook on to my bait. You basically want to hold it still. And the reason is you've got waves and wind action a lot of times that'll create movement within that bait. And if you have a good bait like the Bomb Shot, you really don't have to worry about it. Now, when the water gets a little bit clearer, I really like to go to a more of a shad color, or if I got a good shad bite going on. So you can see this is more of a smoke, clear smoke type bait, still in the Bomb Shot. And I catch a lot of fish, especially on my clear water. Clear water, visibility 6 feet or more, definitely. And the good old go in between, if you're undecisive or just want to start out, can't go wrong with a green pumpkin. Now, this is a green pumpkin flash. It's got a little gold flake in it, same bait. I like to tip the tail with a little chartreuse dye, just to give it a little bit more visibility. If it's really cloudy out, I'll tip the whole tail, just to give it that much chartreuse. And that green pumpkin, it's a mainstay, it's a must-have. And then as far as weight selection, I like the teardrop weights, tungsten. I always use tungsten because it allows me a better feel on the bottom. And I'll start out usually with a 1/4 ounce and 3/8, and then half if I'm fishing, say, below 25 to 30, I go to the half. There's a few tips, a few baits. Hopes it's gonna help you catch some more fish in that summertime grind. But remember, they get schooled up and it's a lot of fun.